There you are. Are you all the children that are going to be starting Primary 1 at James Gillespie's next year? Oh, it's so nice to see you again. I'm here again to give you a little bit more information about what it's like to come to James Gillespie's primary school. I hope you found last week's video really interesting, and I hope today you're going to find out some more new things about your new school. So, my name is Mrs Goddard. Maybe you've remembered that from the last time. And our school is called, that's right, James Gillespie's Primary School. And you remember about these little interesting pictures here? Those are our school values and our symbol, the unicorn. So the red one, remember, is kindness and respect. That's Kit. There's Kenmore for curiosity, the blue one. Candy Can Do is the yellow one, and Link is the green one. And all of those are symbols that you're going to see a lot of when you are joining our school and starting here at James Gillespie's. Do you remember I told you there's going to be 2 classes in Primary 1 next year, and our classes are going to be Primary 1A and 1B, and we name our classes after trees. And so our P1A class is going to be the maple class. So the maple leaf will be the symbol of your class. And Primary 1B is going to be called the willow classroom. And that has a willow leaf to go with your classroom. And if you remember, our playroom that I showed you last week is called the birch room, which is another type of tree. So next year we'll have maple and we'll have willow. And you'll be finding out soon which class you're going to be in, which leaf is going to be yours for your class. If you have older brothers and sisters, you may have been to our school before, but for some of you that might be the first time visiting our school when you come to meet your teacher. So when you enter the school, I thought I would show you what it will look like. So we have a sign outside saying James Gillespie's Primary School, and then we have big gates at the entrance to the school. And when we enter through the big gates, on the right hand side is the nursery. So those boys and girls who are in our nursery will recognise that. On the left hand side, there is a place for you to park your bike or your scooter if you want to bring that to school with you. And then as we get closer to the school building, we've got these cones to show you where you'll be walking. We go round to the left, follow the arrow. Do you see the arrow on the ground? And there's another set of gates, and that's the entrance to the playground. And that's the direction you will go to get round to Primary 1. Some things about starting Primary 1 are the same as nursery, and some things are different. So we have got a cloakroom area right outside of your classroom. You might be familiar with that from nursery. You might have had a cloakroom in nursery with a peg to hang your coat on and a place to put your bag, and it might have a label with your name on it that you find so you know which is your peg. And that's the same in Primary 1. In Primary 1, in all of James Gillespie's primary school, we change our shoes when we come inside to go into the classroom, and that might be different to nursery because from some nurseries you might just go into nursery with the shoes that you were wearing when you came. So you have to have a second pair, an indoor pair of shoes that you can change into. So first thing in the morning, you will be taking off your coat and hanging it on your peg, and you will be taking things out of your bag that you need inside the classroom, and you will be changing shoes. So a thing to practice between now and starting primary one is whether you can put your own shoes on and fasten them yourself, because that's a job you will be doing quite a lot when you're in primary one, when you come in from playtime, when you come in from lunchtime, before you go home at the end of the day. So it's a really good skill to practice before you start. At the start of the day, you'll find your name on a name log to let your teacher know that you're here for the day. And in your nursery, that might have been the same, but it might have been something different. So you might have had a star, or you might have had a balloon that you moved into position, or you might just have taken your name and popped it into a basket. At James Gillespie's, we use little logs with your name on it. You have to find your name and then pop it in the basket. You also bring a water bottle and a snack to school. You might not have done that at nursery because nursery usually provides snack and lunch for all the boys and girls. So you will have to take your water bottle out your bag and your little box with your snack in it out your bag and take it to a place where we store them in the classroom. Last time I showed you lots of places for play and learning in the classroom and in the birch room. But there are other activities that we do in primary one as well. So one of the activities that the children really love to do is to make a visit to our school library. And our school library is very much like going to a public library. We have a little computer system where you beep to say that you're taking your book out, and you can borrow it and take it home and read it at home and then bring it back the next time. And we have lots and lots of wonderful books in our library. We also have a lovely place for the children to sit and read books. So some of your time spent in the library is about looking at the books that we have and reading some stories with your friends, the adult reading to you as well, so that you can make good decisions about the sorts of books you would like to take home. We also do something called PE or gym, which is doing lots and lots of running around and jumping and throwing balls and catching. And we go to a big hall to do this, or when the weather's lovely, we go outside. And you'll see in the pictures there, boys and girls are running between the lines on the ladder. They're practicing their throwing and catching with the balls in a PE lesson. And it's about moving in spaces, knowing where all the other children are, and working with equipment so that we can learn different skills that you might need in different sports. And that's lots and lots of fun. As well as our classrooms inside, we're also really lucky to have an outdoor classroom. And you have turns to go out to the outdoor classroom and play there too. And we're so lucky because it has a fantastic shelter, which means we can play there in all weathers. And we've got a nice role play area, it's a reading station, some painting. We've also got a big cupboard with bricks for doing some big building. You might recognise those from your nursery. We have a sand pit, and we have some small world tables for playing with things like, there's at the moment is a fairy garden. Sometimes we have a car garage or a doll's house, and we've got a lovely mark making area for you to do some lovely pictures as well. Our school grounds is a fantastic place for learning, and so we use those for outdoor learning. And we have lots of different lessons that we plan outside, like making dens, searching for bugs, making houses for bugs. And we're really lucky that the woodland space and a lot of the size of the grounds around our school allow us to do lots and lots of outdoor activities. So when you're starting school, you might hear people talking about wearing a uniform. And when you're in nursery, you wear your own clothes to nursery. Usually nurseries ask you to wear your old clothes because you're going to get quite messy and dirty. And in schools, we have something called a uniform that you can wear. And the uniform shows everybody in school and people outside of school that you belong to the school team that has the same badge as you. So our uniform has a unicorn on it, And all the children you see with the unicorn, you know, go to James Gillespie's primary school. And it's the one thing that we have inside of school that connects us all together as one big community. So if you are thinking about clothes for school for next year, there are some different items that you can have that has the unicorn on them. Obviously, lots of the boys and girls wear this sweatshirt with the unicorn badge, or a polo shirt if it's a nicer sunny day, but you can also wear a white polo shirt and it doesn't have the badge on it. Some people buy a bag to put reading books in, but we also provide packs for reading books to go home in anyway. There's a drawstring bag with that you can keep your gym kit in, so your shorts and t-shirt for doing PE. It doesn't have to have the unicorn on it. You can just have a regular drawstring bag that you bring with your things in it that's just different to your school bag. T-shirts and shorts for doing our PE lessons. You will need a water bottle for school so that you're able to have lots of drinks of water through the day. When we are doing our outdoor learning and it's the winter months, it can be very rainy in Scotland, and so our woodland area gets very muddy. So your teachers will let you know which day of the week that you do your outdoor learning on, and that would be a good day to bring welly boots for doing outdoor learning. And if you had waterproofs, such as waterproof trousers or waterproof jacket, on those really, really rainy days, then you could bring those in on those days too, so that you can keep nice and dry, because the weather wouldn't stop us from going out to do our outdoor learning. But it's not something you need to have all of the time, and if you don't have waterproof trousers, as long as you have a waterproof jacket, then you will still go out to do your outdoor learning. I mentioned before about changing your shoes. So that is just one example of the type of indoor shoe that some children wear, and your mums and dads can get those in supermarkets. They are like a gym shoe that you can wear also for PE, for running about in the hall. But as long as really you have a second pair to change into, that can also be used for running about and doing PE lessons with, then that's absolutely fine. I hope that's been lots and lots of interesting things for you to learn about coming to school, and we are very much looking forward to meeting you. So from me and all of our values, Kit, Kenmore, Candy and Link, I look forward to chatting with you next time. Have a lovely weekend, everyone.